So many times we say, I have rules in the house. The rules are meant to keep society and to keep our homes running well, not to drown our kids. If it comes down to, I'm going to have a house with rules but without my kid, then in the name of what? The rule is there to help the child, not drown the child. I had an amazing story in Home Sweet Home. There was a kid that went out one night and he did drugs. And I found out about it. Now, it's nishkan chachma. It's not very smart to lose kids. I could have thrown every single kid at some point out. Hello, I was opening up a home for kids who that's their profession, to get thrown out of places. The whole idea was I never threw a kid out. There was one kid, like in a short period of time, he threw himself out. But I didn't lose my kids. So the chachma was, how do you not lose kids? They break whatever rules you have, right? We have rules because we had to have rules because it's a house, different than your house. It's a program, and there's other kids trying to stay clean. What are you supposed to do? So this kid went ahead, and he did drugs. So I went there at like 1 o'clock in the morning. They were not supposed to be outside. First I got into pajamas and my robe, because I always did that for impact. Now if they're watching, I fooled you. And I came, I said, I forgot something at the house, and I said, how you doing? Okay, let's go to sleep, go to sleep. I looked at him, and I just stared at his eyes, just 1 second, and I moved on. He texted the other guy who was texting me, the snitch, but he was a good guy. He snitched on him for one reason. I'll explain to you. None of the kids trusted adults, right? They all feel, don't trust any adults. You don't trust the police, you don't trust the adults, nothing. They trusted me to the point that they knew, I tell them, if somebody breaks a rule, tell me why. Because if I don't catch him, he's going to keep on breaking rules. He's not going to make it to the end of the year. If I do catch him, I'm not going to throw him out. I'm going to save him. So that's why he went ahead and he told me about what was happening. So he texted, oh, Avi saw my eyes. That's it. My days here are numbered. I don't know what's going to be. The next day I came into the house and said, by the way, I'm doing a drug test tomorrow. So he went ahead and he figured it's going to be a urine test. He started going out to buy urine and to, you could buy anything on the internet. And to ask friends, I'll pay you, can you just give me some urine? Amazing what people need these days, right? Actually, you know the story about this boy that bought on the internet urine for his test, and he gave it in, and it came back and said, well, we have good news and bad news. The good news is you're clean from drugs. The bad news is you're pregnant. So you have to be careful with that mazel of alles, the Sefer Torah Shebehechel, and the urine that you buy on the internet. You never know what you're going to be getting these days. Okay, so today he would just say, what's the word? I identify as a pregnant woman, and that's it. We have no issue. Depends how you identify. Anyway, all kidding aside, so I saw this kid. So I told him, no, we're going to do a test, and he was trying to get urine. I walked in, and I had cups with everyone's name on it. And I went over to him, and I said, I'm doing a hair follicle test. Now, Chacham from the Manishtana, the hair follicle test. Do you know what a hair follicle is? I don't. The hair follicle is the piece that's in your brain, right, that the hair pulls out of your brain. And 13 months you can check. But I did this caseda throughout the years, the drug test, the hair follicle test, like every few months when I felt I needed it, but I never sent it in, and I never knew what it was. So I said, everybody, okay, surprise, here's your names, and I took out a scissors. What do I know? So I cut off his hair, I put it in the thing, I cut off his hair. You can't tell anything from a cut hair, whatever. And I cut off this guy, I cut it, I put his hair in the cup, and he was texting, that's it, tomorrow Avi's going to find out, a few days, I'm out of here, he's going to throw me out of here. Erev Shabbos was the next day, it was the third day. And he came in, he was in the kitchen, I'll never forget, and there's nobody else home. And I went over to him, and I prepared myself beforehand. I was holding his cup with his name, with his hair, which is worthless, but he didn't know it either. Fortunately, there wasn't Google then. Nowadays, they would just Google, but I also would have Googled it. Where is the hair follicle? I mean, I would have figured it out. I could have plucked it, but I just cut it. Anyway, so I went ahead and I had his thing, and I just looked at him. He said, hey, what's up? I just looked at him. I turned over his cup, and I knocked out his hair. I put it down on the counter. I took out from my pocket a scissors. I went like this to my own hair. I cut it, put it in the hair. I looked at him, I said, am I going to ever regret this? I said, this is against the rules. He thought I have rules. Huh? I said, the board is going to fire me. They thought I had a board. Oh, if you're watching, there was never a board. Yeah. Now I could tell them, there was no board. I told him, I said, I really liked him. I wanted him to stay, you understand? I said, you know, this goes against everything I believe in. I'm an honest person, but I'm doing this for you because I really care about you. He was just dumbfounded, right? I said, am I ever going to have a problem? Right? That boy is learning in Eretz Yisrael today. I mean, you know, it was such a great opportunity. I'm so happy. Like I always tell you, from the worst situations is we have the biggest Reishim. You have to pray and pray that we have crisis to create opportunities to reach the kid in a way that you can't when everything is going fine. It's when they break that car, they steal it Friday night and they bust it up, where you can really show them to the depth of their feeling that I don't really believe, Mem Teshari Tuma, that you're going to stick with me. Lahayrais ulaharais. That's what happens in crisis. Lahayrais ulaharais. That I am here. Shaloi mipnei masayim atayvim heim bonai. Then you v'halachta b'drachav like Hashem. Okay? So what I told someone who said, what the rules? The rules are there. I said, the rules are not here to drown people. The rule is to hold you together, not to do drugs, because we need to have, but once they do it, it's not helpful to throw the kid out in the name of rules. Hashem said, water goes down, but to save my children, water goes up.